They're making maybe, some guys are making $50,000 a year. Some guys are maybe making 100, but after being on the road all year, you're not making any money. As compared back in the day, the guys were making, minimum if you are in a position, you're making 300, 400, 500, and then Brett got that big contract, 750. But like the guys who's in the top positions right now, which is only a handful, like John Cena, he's listened to the veterans. Last year he did $16.7 million. So you got John Cena over here, $16.7 million, and all the other top talent, Undertaker, Shawn, Triple H. This is the kind of money they're making. And you got all the young kids over here, they're making $25, $52, $75,000 a year. Why such a big gap? Because these guys over here know what it takes. They're telling the story. I mean, that's the reason those guys are still leading the company. It's the older guys. I mean, look at Shawn and Undertaker. They stole WrestleMania. But they know what to do. They feel. You think they really planned every bit of that match? No. They know each other to this point that, they know. They know exactly what's going to come next. So they feel and they go, let's do your whatever. Yeah, and they just go, man. They listen to the crowd and they bring that crowd and build that crowd. That's the reason they're facing so much, because you need to have guys like that are the people that are drawing, the people that are coming or buying the pay-per-view. So they're trying to teach young kids. There's a lot of guys that can wrestle, but become psychologists. And also characters. It's still important, man. Believe me, they're looking for, because I talked to the company right now, WWE, and Vince is concerned because Undertaker wants to retire, Shawn wants to retire, Triple H wants to move into the office. That's three of your top talents. They got to have someone step in those positions. Vince is concerned. That's the reason school down in Tampa, where I'm at, it's just like, it's buzzing. They're looking for talent, man. They're looking for some. Oh yeah, they're hoping, they're begging someone to step up to that level. I mean, it's huge money. They're begging someone to step up to that level, meaning just not wrestle, moves. Like I told the guys in Switzerland and West Virginia, why are you doing what you're doing? All the guys were doing leapfrogs. They would do a drop down, and then we'd do a leapfrog. It's called an international spot. Headlock, tackle, drop down, leapfrog, hip toss, slam. They just call it international. You don't have to call it every one of those. But like I told them, I said, let me ask you guys a question. When's the last time you've seen a guy in WWE do a leapfrog? And they all looked at me and said, it's been a long time. I said, you know why? Because agents and Vince and all of them are trying to get the guys to think, why are you doing what you're doing in the ring? Is there really a reason to leapfrog a guy? I mean, I talk to them about dropping down. What do you drop down for? Most guys they get tackled, they just turn to the middle and drop down. That's not what you're supposed to do. A drop down is supposed to be that you're trying to trip the guy. You actually take a tackle, you actually get up, and if you see the guys in WWE that do it right, they feet all the way to the rope, and the guys getting ready to hit the rope, and they go at their feet, because it's supposed to be like you're trying to trip the guy. When you start doing that, the fans start seeing what you're doing, that psychology, they start realizing, wait a minute, that's what pulls them into the ring. It's just not going through the moves, because some of the young kids nowadays, they've got wicked moves, and they're not getting paid, because they're not bringing people into the ring. They might do a little pop, but to keep them from beginning to the end, that's the key. And when you do that, you're going to be paid. You're going to get some serious money. I mean, man, there's some great potential right now for someone stepping into WWE and getting them some big spots. I mean, they're begging for talent to step up right now. Vince he's really concerned right now. Because Undertaker, Shawn definitely want to retire. And Triple H is definitely going to go into the office. Oh, yeah. And look who's leading the pack. It's not that Vince is wanting to keep the older guys, but they still have a good grasp for what they haven't changed. And they all still, which a lot of guys don't understand, they still all have their own characters. I mean, Undertaker's still Undertaker. He's not that mystery Undertaker like he was in the 90s, but he's still the Undertaker.
Well, what about Morrison and CM Punk? Are they coming up to that level that Triple H and all them are coming up to?
What do you think?
Honestly, they're good workers. Punk and Morrison, they're really good workers. But it's not. I'm an old school person. I'm a lot older than I may look, and some of these guys, they're in the new school, and some of these guys can do a mix and match. I'm old school. What I seen last night is what I like to do.
Everywhere I go, and believe me, I travel a lot, just because certain guys, just because we're off the TV, some of us are working constantly. I mean, I haven't been home since October. I got a family, 4 kids, wife. I haven't been, since October 1st, I've been on the road. just, I mean, everywhere. But, you got guys that are talented, but like you said, everywhere I go, the fans and the wrestlers that know anything about wrestling, they go, man, old school, old school. I keep hearing it everywhere, fans. That's the reason why over in Europe it's so big. Over in Europe, places like Germany and all that, that's all they want to see. They don't want to see the new guys. Let me give you an idea. Jack Specific, that makes all the action figures, when they just did my classic superstar line about a year and a half ago, they told me that they don't sell no figures from like the guys from 2000 and above. All the figures are from the guys from the 90s and 80s. Even though all those guys have figures, classic superstar, but they don't sell none of those figures. They sell all the figures from the 90s and 80s. And that's the reason Vince also, if you see Vince too, Vince knows what's up, but it's just so hard for him to try to, he switched to that WWE attitude in 98, 99 and switched to how the whole game was played, and he knows what's up, but just trying to switch the whole company back around is so hard. That's the reason he takes like the WrestleManias. Remember that you used to sell them separately? Now he does what it's called anthropology, and he puts them all together, and now they're selling like crazy. Because they have WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, all those in there. And that's what the fans want to see. I told somebody the other day, it's Steamboat's son, and he looked at me in shock and said, I told Richie, I said, I've actually been getting paid royalties from WWE ever since I left, still from my 90s run. No joke. No joke. And now the guys, like guys that are not even wrestling now, guys are now getting paid even more royalties because now maybe they might not have been in WWE in the last 10 years, but now Vince is selling all the stuff from he's packaging the best of Raws. So if you're on that video, one of those matches, you get paid. It's like the WrestleMania. If you're in anthropology and you get paid. So a lot of the older guys are now, their royalty checks are increasing. I've been getting paid royalties ever since because the fans continue to buy the stuff from the 90s instead of the stuff from today. Yeah, I mean, they still love today's wrestling, but it's nothing like that was in the 90s. I even seen one, even when I was with WWE recently, I even seen when I went to Europe. We used to go to Europe, man, and we'd pull up in the tour buses, and just thousands of people would be in the building already. Thousands of people would be in the parking lot. And you had people on the outside of the building selling illegal merchandise, the Undertakers, the Bret Harts, my stuff, I mean, all the guys, the Angels go, look, man, they're selling it, but it was just the buzz. Yeah. It was so different. Now we go over there, when I would go over there, you would see no fans outside the building. Hardly at all, maybe 50, maybe 100. I mean, yeah, the building would still fill up, but nothing that excitement like it used to be, because you had characters. Everybody played their character from beginning to end. I mean, guys remember when Undertaker first came out? My gosh, I mean, just that building, how it light up with that first doom, and the lights are turned down. Oh my gosh.
I still remember getting goosebumps from that.
Oh yeah.
I was in for Halloween.
And he played that character all the way through. He played from the time he stepped through the curtain to the time, I mean, he wouldn't even talk, even when he was out in front of the because I rode with Undertaker, my first run, 95% of the time my travel partner was Undertaker. That's who I was with the whole time. So I was around him all the time, I was eating with him all the time, going out with him all the time. He played that Undertaker gimmick to the full. I mean, he didn't hardly talk to people, back in the day when he would cut an interview, until they started coming to that different type of where they went WWE attitude, and now he came out of his character, but he's still Undertaker. He's so strong that he still has that Undertaker character. But that's what this is, man. It's fun, man, because I go to places, and when I'm going over back to Germany in February, they have a Legends tour, and then the buildings are just sold out. Me and Dollar Man's going to be there, myself, a whole bunch of other guys. I mean, some of the guys can still wrestle, we can still go, man. And it's fun. You get in there, that's fans, that's what they want to see. I mean, literally, from the time you go through the curtains, literally, they're standing up. I mean, they don't fire the whole time. They're there to be entertained. Oh, they want to be entertained. But see, now, I was over in Europe, and we were talking to one of the young kids, and I said, do you listen when you're in the ring to the fans? He says, I try to never listen to the fans. Oh my gosh, what are you doing?